Well, hey everybody, Dylan here, and sorry if I sound overexcited, but it's true, I am. WrestleMania nights 1 and 2 ended officially yesterday as of recording this. I was going to do night 1 Sunday morning, Saturday night, whatever, when it ended, but I decided, you know what, why don't we just upload both of them on the same day? So this has a reoccurring theme to it, this episode shall, because this WrestleMania, Triple H has already said it, I think, and I think they kind of hammered it home between him and Stephanie saying it. This officially kicks off the Triple H era. You know, we had that little awkward period in 2022 where he was transitioning from, like, the Vince era to him officially taking over. And then, I guess, from 2022 to now was its own time period of him just finishing off what Vince started, those stories paying off. So it's kind of cool finally being in, officially starting the era of Triple H. There's an article I need to read more on, but if I do a news report, apparently he wants less sports entertainment to be involved and more professional wrestling to be involved. So that's freaking sweet. It's so crazy. I'm happy. I'm ecstatic about what's going to come up and all the plans that they hopefully will go through with. And I know how this radio normally goes. They're like, oh, we're going to go through with it and then don't. But I'm hoping this time no politics, nothing gets involved, and we can actually have fully the Triple H regime and the Triple H era can be as great as I think it can be. All right, enough pandering and ass-kissing to Triple H. There's enough of that throughout this show. I'm just kidding. Let's start off the review. Welcome to the granddaddy of them all, the showcase of the immortals, the overhyped and overpackaged sponsored event. Welcome to WrestleMania, specifically night 1 of it. So it starts off, I know I said, oh, I'm never going to do the intros, but we officially have a new intro for it. It looks more like the Marvel Cinematic Universe intro, which is dope, by the way. But it goes through the then, now, forever thing. But it's you just got to watch it if you haven't seen it. It's cool. Great way to signify we're in a new era. Have I mentioned that enough yet? After that, they show a shot at the ring eventually. After that, we see Cody, Seth, Roman, and The Rock separately arriving earlier. Except for Roman and The Rock, they arrived together, of course. You know, Bloodline. Then Michael Cole. Okay, let's make sure my cat didn't step on the keyboard. Then Michael Cole says, this is WrestleMania, and he sends it over to the video package hype. Then the narrator says, the blah, blah, blah presents WWE WrestleMania. I love that voice. I love that they brought that back. I've missed hearing that. So far, Triple H regime's my favorite era, and it's just starting. So anyway, we get the arena, and they don't have pyro tonight, which was kind of crazy that a WrestleMania has pyro later on, but it doesn't have, like, pyro to kick off the show. That's crazy. I guess, to be fair, as the announcers will say throughout the whole show, it was super windy night 1, so that could be why. Plus, also, a recurring theme is that, not to kind of persuade you one way or another, but in my opinion, night 1 was vastly different than night 2. I mean, like, there was great matches, but instead of it being what this WrestleMania was hyped up to be as the greatest sports and entertainment event of all time, we just got like okay, I'm not disappointed with you at least. Mania, in my opinion. After all that happened, we see Rhea getting ready for her match, and they update us as the show goes on with the weather. I think Michael Cole pokes fun at himself on night 2 and calls himself the weather forecaster of the WWE, which I'm still in that gimmick. After that, we see Becky Lynch backstage also. They have Coco Jones sing the national anthem. I think they did a good job for what I remember. I didn't have any complaints. And then we get right into the show. Triple H starts us off as commentary welcomes us again. By the way, commentary tonight consists of Michael Cole, Corey Graves, and Pat McAfee. It also consists tomorrow night of that as well. Trips welcomes us to Mania, and commentary then sends us to Becky versus Rhea. Becky gets cool WrestleMania entrance. Like, if I was tier listing these, I would at least give this a B tier list. They pull off scriptures from her book, and they have her narrate them. And then she comes out, and she looks dope. I didn't realize it till halfway through the match, but the aesthetic of it is inspired by her book. Which makes sense because I made a note specifying that her dress has like scriptures from her book, I think. After that, they introduced us to the Spanish announce team. They mentioned who it was, but forgive me, I didn't write it down. Then Rhea gets a killer live entrance by Motionless in White. God, you can tell she's money. Unfortunately, they have the problem that all their live performances have every year. The mics are so shitty and they end up fucking up. But that's okay. Still A-tier entrance. Rhea ends up picking up the win after about 30 minutes of them just beating the shit out of each other, taking crazy spots. Like, I didn't write down all of them, so that way you can still have something to watch without super spoilers, even though I'm telling the outcome of the match. Whatever. But Rhea did an electric chair that consisted from her, like, doing a move inside the ring, and then they flipped over the ropes, and then she did an electric chair outside. And that whole time she didn't drop Becky. That alone made me go like, holy shit, this is Mania. Apparently during this whole time, Becky had strep throat and a fever of 102. So between performing in the cold weather and with those conditions, as long as both of them did, good job. I would have rated this match alone like 4 stars because it was a killer. But considering the conditions alone, great way to start off the show. The right person won with Rhea Ripley. Freaking 4.5 stars. Great job, everybody. I'm proud of you all. After an ad break, we come back to the arena where they plug C4. Shout out to one of my energy drinks that keeps me awake during these things. Also, shout out to Celsius, but that's just my personal biasy. Then they go to another ad break, which we have like 5 of them back to back, so just bear with me. After that, they have the 6-pack tag team ladder match where both sets of championships are hung up on separate the like hanger thingies they've used. I don't know how to describe them. DIY come out and their entrance and ring gear and all that looks like DX, which I appreciate somebody living the gimmick. There was a graphic error for New Catch Republic. I think DIY's graphic was still up or whoever came out before them. That sucked. But then New Day came out and Rocky Aspired gear. Also, shout out to Consequences Creed. And then the Judgment Day comes out with these like sick looking warrior masks. I thought it before commentary mentions it, but I think Corey Graves even said like he alluded to the fact that Balor's mask looked a lot like Scarecrow's. I appreciate R-Truth's comedy spots throughout this match. It was so great. It made me pop. Unfortunately, this match is the first one where I go, oh no, wrong team won. Because the team I didn't even want to be in this match ended up winning the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. That's right. They gave it to A-Town Down Under. And don't get me wrong, I talk so much shit about them and I apologize. It's not even like I hate the team. I don't. In the sense of like wrestling. They're great wrestlers. They just have... They're in between go away heat for me and also like heat because of their characters. You know what I mean? But I'm interested to see... I wrote down a bit where I was like, -3 stars for that, but it was just a bit. Honestly, I'm interested just to see their potential now. Because it started out with me, I think you can watch past reviews and get this. I hated them because of the association with the Paul brother. But if they can prove themselves, which they don't have to, you know, I'm just a schmuck on the internet. If they can prove themselves to me, then maybe I'll turn around. Because I like Grayson Waller, and Austin Theory had potential, but they shoved him down our throats, so it made me kind of not like him. All right, tangent aside, let's go on. You know what? I was upset about that and had that big tangent, but that's okay, though, because immediately afterwards, New Catch ends up chucking the dumbass champions through a table, off of the ladder, so that was a sick spot. And then later on, match still happens, and I think, in my opinion, one of the right teams won. I know I said Awesome Truth, by the way, Awesome Truth wins the Raw Tag Team titles. I know I said that Awesome Truth shouldn't win, but with them winning the titles, it keeps them babyface. It gives the crowd a good WrestleMania moment. It gives R-Truth something just as a thank you. I think he's never won a WrestleMania up until that point. But with that being said, like all this stuff aside, from a wrestling standpoint, I think this is going to be great because it could lead to feuds with like DIY turning heel, and I think that would be the push that DIY needs right now because they're kind of getting bland as baby faces. So maybe make the crowd hate them to love them again. There's just so many different variables. Like we could have good comedy matches with Alpha Academy in them. Like, there's just so many different things that could happen. I'm interested to see how many of these I see. So overall, I'm still in a generous mood at this point. Whenever I reviewed it, I wrote 4.5 stars. I might knock it down to like 4 stars, honestly. Not because the match was bad, but because looking back at it, that kind of started swaying the mood. Because I was like, oh, 2 teams I personally think should have won, didn't win. That kind of sucks, but it's okay. WrestleMania, you know. But yeah, I understand why they want. Both teams won. I get it. It's a great way to split up the titles. Great way to start this whole like Judgment Day falling apart fiasco, which more on that on night 2. Congratulations to every team though. You had like a hell of a ladder match, as old man coach Dylan would say. And that was a great moment. After that break, we get Team Mysterio yay against Team Mysterio boo. I think Rey Mysterio, it was advertised Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee, but I think something happened on SmackDown where Dragon Lee was taken out. So it became Rey Mysterio and Andrade. There we go. Rey Mysterio and Andrade against Dominic Mysterio and Santos Escobar. I'm just going to quote myself on this. Team Rey Mysterio yay ends up winning due to the help of former Eagle players. I don't know football, despite the fact when I do watch football, I pull for the Eagles. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm a Philly fan. Come for me, Cowboys. All right, 3.5 stars. Commentary then runs down what to expect and then takes us to a hype package for the Usos. I'm not gonna lie, that video was pretty fucking sick. Like, maybe it's just I'm on the euphoria of WrestleMania, but like, it was pretty good. I'd give it like C, maybe B tier, honestly. And then Lil Wayne comes to the ring to introduce Jay. He starts playing the beginning of a Millie. And I'm like, what the hell? Is this 2012? Because that's dope as hell that Lil Wayne's here, okay? And then after Jay comes out and does the hand thing, Lil Wayne does the hand thing with him, it was pretty cool. Jimmy comes out. As he comes out, Jay jumped over the top rope and just started beating him down. They had this fiery beatdown at the beginning. Then he throws Jimmy in the ring, and that starts the bout. Something that's noteworthy from the crowd later on is that instead of doing yay, boo, spot, they start doing yeet, no yeet. It was so sick. The crowd honestly made the match tonight. In the middle of the match, Jimmy does this like apology angle. He's like, dude, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I just want my brother back, please. Stuff like that. And his brother helps him up. They hug. The crowd boos that. And then Jimmy super kicks him. It was so see-through, but, like, I'm going to give the brothers their moment. Whatever they want to do. They won this match for a while. Go for it. He tries to win with an Uso splash out of that, but Jay kicks out at 2. The match goes on for about a couple minutes more until Jay ends up hitting a spear and then the Uso splash for the win. 4 stars, but that's also because I'm biased. If it had 3.5 stars, I get it. But in my personal opinion, I'm a big Jimmy and Jay mark. I've always been. So 4 stars. They show people celebrating in London and the UK and just all around the world. And then they go to an ad. After the ad, which by the way is like 90% of the show, golly, I get it. Tonight's the night you make your money, but don't remind me every second, please. After that, they show Cody arriving earlier today again. Then we have an ad. And then after that ad, we have Team Jade against Damage Control. Team Jade consisting of Jade Cargill, Naomi, and Bianca Belair. Damage Control comes out to this cool intro with like people dressed up in traditional Japanese like attire. I don't know how to correctly say that. My apologies. And they were using their fans to like fan towards the camera and dance. And then the Kabuki Warriors came out in the middle of it, and that was sick. Also, Asuka's face paint tonight looks dope. Plus points just for that. Kari looks cool too, by the way. And Dakota, by the way, she looked fucking sick as hell. Like, it's freezing outside, and she just decided, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna wear what I'm gonna wear. After that, Team Jade comes out on a podium, and Jade has her hair cut. And everybody else got like a snippet of their entrance after Jade came out with her entrance. I don't get it, but whatever. I guess politics did that. I don't know. And then Bianca's music led them to the ring. Also, shout out to commentary. They mentioned Sasha Banks by name during this event. The world is so crazy. What the fuck? During this match, they hype up Naomi on commentary. They build up how much of a competitor she actually is, and they put her, I think it's fair to say they put her over. Sorry, they put her over. I'm getting hyped up, reliving the night. Anyway, they let everyone shine and have their moment, and this builds up to and the whole match is just building up to Jade getting her big moment. Bianca had a dope spot where she gave the Kabuki Warriors 10 punches in the corner, then Dakota kind of like charged towards her, so she did a moonsault off of them, and then like did a clothesline to take out Dakota. That was sick. One thing I do have to just call out, and it's not even like a big deal because I'm a fan, and if you were an average fan you wouldn't notice it, but golly, it sucked. I don't know if nerves got to her or what, but Jade was still making a lot of mistakes during this match. Like, they're not super noticeable, but her shit's just not tight yet, and that's okay. She's green. But going on to Jade, she got her shine moment. And like I said, it's still obvious she's green, but that's okay. Give her time. She's got plenty of time to shine. Just give it. Just give it. Tonight was literally the introduction into Jade. That's all we needed, and it worked out perfectly. During this, Asuka accidentally missed Kari in the face instead of Bianca, maybe? I don't remember. Instead of one of them. And that gives her enough advantage for everybody to hit their finishers. And then Jade ends up winning with the Jaded against Dakota Kai, and she does her little pose thing. 3.5 stars. This is a great showcase for Jade, and the right team won. Congratulations, Triple H. You've already done way more than Vin Mac ever would. The right team actually wins at Mania. Asuka should have never lost her streak, by the way. After that, we have ad break, and then when we come back, they show Gunter versus Sami Zayn. Honestly, we're getting ready for it. It's like the hype package, whatnot. And then have Sami talking backstage to his family. I think it's his wife or girlfriend, whatever. Yeah, the wife. They say that later. And his child. And he asked his wife if she could leave the child, like not have the child at ringside. And then he runs into Chad Gable, who says Sami is on his own tonight because he always had this. He doesn't need Gable's help. As he's walking to the ring, Kevin Owens is waiting on him, and he hypes him up, saying that this is his night, and he can do this. He has this. Then after that, Sami comes out. They do a Prime promo, and I cringe. C4 is better. Then Gunter comes out with Imperium. It was a big-ass moment, and he had his pay-per-view reds on, so you know what that means. We got the monster tonight. You better watch out, Sami. You're in for the fight of your life. They announced that on August 31st. I think it's already been announced, but they confirm it tonight. They'll be in Germany for Bash at Berlin, which I guess if they're overseas for anything, got the Clash at the Castle, Bash at Berlin, the shanking in Singapore. You know what I mean? Like, it's all just going to be metaphors for violence. This is the match I've been looking forward to all night, honestly. I had like 3 or 4 matches tonight that I was like, okay, once you're over with, I'm not going to be sad to watch you, but once you're over with, I'm ready for the next one. I think pacing was good. Yeah, I was looking forward to this since I saw them fight. I think it was November, if I'm not mistaken. They were at a house show, and I think I caught footage of it, if I'm not mistaken. But Gunter did a chop to Sami. They had the fight of the night to the point the whole crowd at the end of their fight stood up and applauded them. But yeah, it got to the point that Gunter did a chop, and I'm in like cheap seats, I'm not gonna spend money on a house show. But yeah, I'm up there and I can hear that chop as if I'm right next to the man. That's how powerful these chops are. Yeah, Sami delivered a brain buster towards the end of the match, and I popped every time he pulls that out. God, it looks like he's killing the man, but also like, God, he's doing it so safe. The match does, after the brain buster, with Sami hitting 2 haluva kicks. I think Gunter even hit a haluva kick at the beginning, just to say, like, anything you can do, I can do better. After that brain buster, he pins him, and the Devil has lost his titles on his 666th day of the reign. That's right, Sami won tonight, and as a El Generico mark, this is a very special moment for his brother. Shout out. I'm sure Generico pulled up a TV at that orphanage and watched him the whole time. I was so proud of him. I can't wait, honestly, to see what programming comes out of this. Like, they teased the Sami and Kevin feud. Kevin's still watching him, but also that could just be like, oh, hey, you have history with this person and you're at a cross-show event. Cool. Of course, there's obviously the Chad Gable and him moment. That's going to lead to a great program. I can't wait to see Gable win that title off of him. 4 stars. Honestly, it could have won 4.5 stars, but that I needed to see that match. During the ad break, they showed Cody giving support for the Olympics, by the way, as like a sponsored deal for WWE. And honestly, at that moment, seeing Cody as the poster boy, that signified for me that there wasn't even a shadow of a doubt anymore that Cody was going to win the night 2. I keep on giving a weather update, and weather alert, it's cold as fuck, man. Anyways, in the ring, Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce are there, and they thank the fans, and they hype them up, and, it's normal, like, thank you for showing up. Without you, none of us would be here. And there was apparently 72,543 people in attendance. I don't know how accurate that number is. I haven't checked on things. But it was a sellout. Both nights were. That's freaking crazy. I love wrestling. Wrestling is cool again. All right, they run down the celebrities that are in the crowd, talk about the Slammies. I wrote down tomorrow night. Yeah, tomorrow night as well. I might review those Slammies for night 2, but also I might review them on Raw, or also I might review them on SmackDown. I don't know. I might just also ignore them. There's so much wrestling this week. I can't tell you what I'm going to do and what I'm not going to do. After the rundown, we get the match everybody was waiting for. Bloodline of Roman Reigns and The Rock versus Cody and Seth. We get a promo package hyping it up and how we got to this point. Then we get into the action where the babyfaces' entrances were normal, just them doing their thing because they're probably waiting. I wrote down because they're probably waiting for night number 2, and boy, was I right. But The Rock gave himself this crazy entrance that he comes through fire, and then it shows a overall shot of it, and it's the Brahma bull that he's surrounded around. It was so sick. And then Roman came out, and what was the normal entrance for him? Again, I guess he's waiting for night 2. And then we get into the action. Match goes for 30 minutes. There's some crazy-ass spots. The Rock took a beating during this match, but also he gave out a fucking beating. Throughout the whole match, it goes like The Rock was threatening to fire the ref if the ref tried to count them out or tried to disqualify them or anything. Seth Rollins got put through a barricade, by the way. That was one of the spots. Again, I think Rock took a rock bottom through the table from Cody or something like that. And the match ends when Cody's hitting 2 crossroads in the ring. He goes for number 3, but he's near the ropes, and The Rock whips him. And when I say whips, I mean, God, if I was in the cheap seat, I feel like he hit me with that belt, how loud it was on TV. After he does that, The Rock demands to be tagged in, and Roman's just like, okay, I'll beat him tomorrow. And then he hits Cody with the rock bottom and people's elbow for the Bloodline to win. And that means tomorrow night, it's Bloodline rules. 4.5 stars. This was a great way to lead into night 2. The hero has fallen. How will he survive when the odds are against him? We'll find out on night 2's review. 4.5 stars. This whole show, honestly, like I said, it's not as great as night 2, but the big matches held up. So I'm going to give it, you know what, I'll be fair. I'll give it 4.5 stars. Yeah. Just because for this to signify the new era and to also like lead into tomorrow night, as Triple H said in like a post interview. He's like, so the night ended with, he said something like, the night ended with Cody Rhodes losing. That makes you think, makes you wonder what's going to happen tomorrow night. Hearing that made me smile, because that's what I've been missing in WWE is continuity. Thank you, Triple H. Thank you, Paul Levesque, for this era. So if you want to see what I thought of Night 2, give it a little while. Not too crazy a long time. I just need to finish a couple matches, because just like with Night 1's review, I ended up falling asleep during the show because, gosh, I work morning shifts, and then I work morning shifts, so it's like this lasted till like 1 or 2 in the morning, and that's okay. I'll handle that. But also, like, my old man body can't handle it. Anyway, I'll have Night 2's review up as soon as I finish a couple matches, so let's aim for like a couple hours from now. Anyway, it'll be up by the end of tonight. So, see you then.